Garnering interest among high school students and faculty across the Nashua School District, the dress code becomes an increasingly controversial topic.
There definitely needs to be some sort of reevaluation with the dress code policy.
If you are seen as distracting by what the administrators think, then that's who they pick.
It's a tough thing to bring up to a kid, like, hey, that might be a little too short, or there's too much cleavage showing, or this or that.
Statistically speaking, 1 in every 6 dress code requirements is designed to enforce female dress in particular.
With the more variety of women's styles, in regards to fashion at least, there's definitely more opportunities for dress code violations to occur.
It can be very difficult for females to find clothing that covers enough to fit dress code.
Students who do not comply to dress code guidelines are subject to Class 2 offense consequences.
It will give the student, a realization that if you even, step out of line, there will be a consequence for that action.
I have had to talk to administration for certain individuals, and there have been some punishments, but those were levied by administration.
The dress code at Nashua High School South is designed to prepare students to be employable and considerate students by providing general guidelines for what would be considered by most as acceptable attire for a professional and educational environment.
To me, they show a little bit too much skin, and I really just like to look professional.
They think that it sort of damages the educational environment a bit, and it sort of distracts students, and that it distracts faculty from working properly. And I think that more has to do with them rather than the person who wears the outfit itself.
At Nashua High South, student athletic uniforms under the dress code are a major point of controversy.
I do think it's tough. I mean, I've heard of, kids wearing their uniforms to school for pride before a game and, getting in trouble for the short shorts or things like that. I think that's kind of tough because it's kind of a mixed message.
If you can't wear that in school, then you shouldn't be able to wear it outside of school, because it still is considered a school activity.
We know that some teams wear their uniforms during the day on game days, and some of them, because of the uniforms we have, they do violate the dress code. And we've addressed that, and we certainly look for uniforms that wouldn't violate the dress code, but that's almost impossible to do.
Because of the controversy of the dress code, many believe that it needs to be amended to avoid subjectivity.
I think it should be standard in the district. I don't think one school should have a rule and then the other a different one.
I think it's ridiculous that a girl's shoulders and stomach is seen as sexually distracting, so I'd like to see that change.
So I think making it more of a clear message as to styles that are maybe not appropriate. It's a tough thing to follow through with, I think.
But I think it needs to be changed to fit the different styles that are now shown today instead of back when the dress code was probably made.
When it comes to, fixing it and making it a bit more objective, I think what we need to do is we need to set certain guidelines in which it's a bit more lax than it already is now.